It's time for our third safety short. This one's on the topic of fire and what can cause it to happen. In our first scenario, we see a young man cooking chips over a chip pan. After putting the chips on to cook, he goes off to do something else while he waits for them to cook. He forgets about it, so the chip pan catches fire, and he's alerted to a fire by the smoke alarm, so he goes to try and put it out. He can't do it, so he calls the fire brigade, who came out and rang a damp cloth on the fire to put it out. They warn him never to leave the chip pan unattended, otherwise it will start a fire, and tell him he was lucky not to have died in the fire. Let's take our second scenario into the living room, where there's quite a few things that could cause a fire around the room. Can you spot any of them? Look on the armrest of the sofa. Some careless person has left a box of matches lying around. If left unattended, a child could pick them up and start a fire, unaware of the danger they can cause. Don't leave matches lying around. Put them out of your child's reach. Oh no, there's a fire burning without a fire guard around it. All it would take here would be for a coal to fall or be knocked out of place, and this will happen. The whole room is set ablaze and the flames spread around the house. The lessons here are: never leave your fireplace unattended and put a fire guard around it. And for goodness sake, just put out your fire. What's wrong with that plug socket? That's right, they've overloaded it. This could very easily start a fire if it gets too hot. If you have one of those plug adapters, don't overload it. And there's a young woman smoking a cigarette on the doorstep. Oh no, she's dropped it on the ground. Flames are starting to burn, and she screams and rushes for a fire extinguisher to put out the flames. Folks, if you smoke cigarettes, when it comes to putting them out, stub them out before discarding them. And leave them out of reach so your children can't get to them. That's it for another Safety First short. I hope you learned something from it. It's important to know what to do and what not to do when there's a fire, and what can cause a fire in the first place. Thanks for your time.